Papua New Guinea's 9th parliament is scheduled to have its first sitting this Friday. However, some electorates are yet to make declarations. Mr. Basil in Kokopo argues that these electorates be given time to complete the election process thoroughly before parliament is recalled and a new government formed. This is what he had to say.
I call on the Electoral Commissioner and the Governor General to respect the return of writs of 111 members of Parliament. Recently is that the Parliament will be called on Friday, and there is still counting going on in other electorates. Therefore, in respect to those other electorates, they need their members of Parliament to be present on the floor to vote their Speaker and to vote their... Unfair if the Prime Minister goes ahead and if the Governor General goes ahead too and listens to the Prime Minister to recall Parliament or to call the first Parliament, sitting of the 9th Parliament, this Friday. And it is not very fair. We cannot just have members of Parliament, newly elected members of Parliament, being recently elected to run straight into Wagani. They have to say thank you to the electors, and they have to say clean up and before they move into Port Moresby. And they have to have time to negotiate. They have to have time to know who they are voting for.
He also made a strong call on newly elected members of Parliament to think hard and wise when it comes to forming the government. He says this is very important for the young country as it has been going through tough times since independence, adding that it is time to learn from past mistakes and move the country and its people forward.
And I want to use this opportunity to also call on the newly elected members of Parliament, especially the first-timers and the re-elect members who has been out for a while and are back again. They consist of more than half of the members of... Call on them that the people have mandated them to come. Therefore, there's got to be a new Prime Minister. All the Prime Ministers that has been serving Papua New Guinea for some time now, the old guards, on how they run the country, how they ran the country, and what they've done to this country. So far, this country, everybody is saying during elections that the country is not good. So with more than half of the new members into Parliament, the people are saying that we're going to have a new Prime Minister. The people are saying that we're going to have a new team working for the country, providing leadership for this country. Therefore, I call on all the members, especially the independents and the new members of Parliament. You have to think carefully what you're going to do in the next couple of days to vote the new Prime Minister. Are you going to come back and strengthen the old guards who will still maintain their status quo, and you will just become another statistics of coming in and going out in 5 years? You got to think carefully now, because only the new members of Parliament can make a difference by electing a new Prime Minister. And this is my call to all the new members of Parliament. You are voted to make a change. You are not voted in to make sure that you put the old regime back to make sure that they protect themselves. Not to go and support this old regime that have siphoned off funds from the public affairs, from the treasuries, and they're still there trying to make sure that they're in any government to make sure that they protect themselves. So look at Samara's case. Look at Winty. Look at Sir Julius Chen. They should be putting their hands to be prime ministers. How are they running into a camp where there is majority? It's because simply we know because they are trying to protect themselves.
Meantime, when asked about PNG Party and its coalition partners' current numbers, this is what he had to say.
There are several camps, several groupings, and I am not authorized to talk about numbers. The press conference I'm giving now is as a member for Bulolo. Every number games and all the questions that you may ask regarding the camp, I think the General Secretary, the party, and a group of coalition of party leaders, they are in Port Moresby. They are authorized to talk about it. So I will only speak as member for Bulolo regarding the issues that I've just spoken to you.
As the member-elect for Bulolo, he says he is flexible in either forming government or the opposition.
Wherever we are, in the government or in the opposition, we have to serve to the best of our ability. And I'm in for that.
Bernadette Effie, National EMTV News.